Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and this video we're breaking down all the big updates from Star Wars Celebration. It's been a massive week for trailers. I was going to be spending some time with my family today, but YouTube comes first, and thus I've become a worse father than Darth Vader. However, there's lots of things to talk about, so our mission through this video is to boldly go where no one has gone before, and talk about everything that you need to know from the event. Now, it opened with a sizzle reel of all the Star Wars content that's coming the next couple of years. Kathleen Kennedy then arrived on stage, her eyes glowing red like those YouTube thumbnails, and she basically started to go through everything that was coming up. Now, the first panel that they dropped was for Andor, and the cast joined Tony Gilroy on stage to talk about the new season. This is actually going to finish filming in August, and as we know, it's going to lead directly into Rogue One. Now, because of this, they kind of have a rough idea of when the release date's going to be, and they said on stage that it's likely summer 2024. Tony Gilroy discussed a lot of things that were going on in the season, and we also ended with Andy Serkis chanting "One Way Out." So yeah, lots of things teasing towards what could be coming down the line. I'd love to see Andy Serkis back, and though the character couldn't swim, he might not be in too deep and be able to get out of the situation. Now, next up was the Acolyte, and this came with a brand new logo for the show. According to Discussing Film, Kathleen Kennedy said she was blown away by the 4 finished episodes of the show and that she absolutely loved it. We're also going to have a Wookiee Jedi in it, and though it might not be Gunji, we do have a feeling that it could be him. Lee Jung-jae will also star as a Jedi Master in the show, and the series is going to take a heavy focus on martial arts. Lucky people at the panel got to see the trailer early, and they said it featured lots of lightsaber twirling, you know, those fancy twirls, lots of martial arts, and basically lots of things that make it look amazing. And next it was The Mandalorian, where they sort of touched upon what's come before, and those upcoming 2 episodes of Season 3. 7 minutes of Episode 7 were also shown on stage, and the cast also stepped up and talked. Now from here we went to John Watts' Skeleton Crew, which apparently is now in post-production. Following a group of kids, they go on an adventure throughout the galaxy, and this will be led by Jude Law. Attendees there got shown an exclusive trailer, and there were also images posted that showed the crew together. Next up was Ahsoka, and if you've been paying attention to YouTube, then you'll see the full trailers drop.
Something's coming. Something dark. I sense it.
I absolutely loved it. It's got so many cool Easter eggs in it. You know, just seeing those Rebel characters brought to life really blew me away, and I can't wait to see it. This actually releases in August. Knowing my luck, it'll probably be on my birthday on the 8th, so make sure you get your card ready for that. And yeah, lots of things to unpack when we break down that trailer, probably at some point later in the week, because I want a weekend off. Please guys, just let me have some time off. Now we do know a lot about the cast, and Natasha Lee Bordizzo will be playing Sabine Wren. Mary Elizabeth Winstead will also star as Hera, and we're going to get Genevieve O'Reilly, who'll be returning as Mon Mothma. Thrawn will be featuring too, and though I don't think we got any casting announcements when it came to him, we did see the back of his head, which, it's the back of his head, let's go wild! Nerd! They are also recreating the finale of Rebels in live action as well, and everything's really coming together in this season to build off the back of that. How popular it is going to depend massively on how big the fan base is for Rebels, but I love it. And thus, I loved seeing this trailer. I'm sure there's lots of newbies out there who have no idea who these characters are, so if that's you, then let me know your thoughts below. So yeah, lots of things to talk about, and Nerdy Seb on Twitter even pointed out that we might see Ezra in the trailer. No one's really talking about it, but yeah, I think it's worth pointing out, and absolutely blown away by how good this trailer looks. Anyway, from here, Kathleen Kennedy appeared on stage again. Boo! Boo! Hiss! And she said that it was time to announce the future of Star Wars films. Fingers crossed these actually get made. I might be wasting your time going over them, but you know, it is important to talk about, so yeah, let's get into it. Now the first big announcement, it's going to get a lot of goodwill with fans, I think, and that is that Dave Filoni will be directing a film set after the events of the Mandoverse. Likely picking up with the Mandalorian characters. I think that is kind of the natural progression now, because that Season 3 has been a bit rough. Personally, I think it would have worked great as just one big binge, or potentially put into a film, so we didn't have those weird cameos that keep popping up to fill up the season. Anyway, James Mangold will also be directing a Star Wars film too, and this will be about the first Jedi, described as a biblical epic. This is really interesting to me. Mangold's an incredible director in my opinion, and seeing him work on Star Wars will be something really breathtaking. The fact it's about the first Jedi as well can really flesh out that backstory that we haven't really seen in live action before, and I think they've got the right guy for the job here to deliver a home run. Now next is the big announcement that you've probably seen blowing up on Twitter, so follow me at Heavy Spoilers, and that is Shamina Bae-Chinoy will be directing a Star Wars film set with the new Jedi Order. Set 15 years after the sequel trilogy, it's gonna see Daisy Ridley returning as Rey Skywalker. Now personally, I'm hoping that John Boyega returns as well, as I think Finn was just picked up and dropped after The Force Awakens. The guy was clearly teased as being a Jedi, and with Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order, I think it makes sense to at least bring him in as one. So yeah, those are the main announcements. Whether these movies actually get made, you really don't know when it comes to Lucasfilm, but fingers crossed they do, because they all sound really interesting. I'm guessing that they're just kind of in the planning stages at the moment. My safe bet would be that the Daisy Ridley one at least gets made, and then they kind of build off that. But yeah, it's gonna go down a bit of a storm, I think, with people's reactions on Reddit. Rey was obviously a very mixed character. So yeah, let me know below if you're interested in seeing this movie, or if you're not. I think in general, when Star Wars things are announced, people often do go in with goodwill, and even if they've hated things in the past, they're like, well, maybe this could turn it around. Generally, the reaction that I tend to see from fans is that they're willing to give everything a chance if they've been invested in the universe before, and therefore, I think that people are genuinely positive towards this. However, we will end up seeing. The fact that Dave Filoni is getting a movie as well, I think that's really important, as it's something that us fans have been crying out for years and years and years now. Guy clearly understands Star Wars. To me, he's the most trusted person, put the franchise in his hands, and I think he'll do really well with it. And yeah, I am glad to see that announcement at least coming through. So yeah, lots of things to talk about there. We kind of rushed through it. Obviously, we weren't in attendance at the panel. There are people that were. So if you were there and you're watching this video back thinking, he got that wrong or he didn't talk about this enough, then yeah, the comment section, guess what? It was designed specifically for you to be able to leave your thoughts. I'll let you go ahead and do it. If you appreciate me taking some time away from my family for this, and I'd also appreciate the thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe for Star Wars breakdowns almost every week. We are going to be doing The Mandalorian episode 7 on Wednesday, so keep an eye out for that. If you want something else to watch, then there's a video on screen right now. Thank you for bearing with me. I've been Paul. I hope you enjoy the rest of Easter. You take care of yourself. Peace. Get those Easter eggs in, you could say, hey.